Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather. Today I'm meteorologist Al Peterland. This is a weather report. I'll be talking about the weather health stresses for August 18th, 2026. We keep additional graphics at tpatw.com. We also have a storefront on Amazon. Looking at the surface map for Tuesday, there is that front in the south that is really not doing a heck of a lot except triggering a few showers in the extreme southeast and coastal areas. The more significant front stretches from Montana across Wyoming down into basically Omaha into Nebraska and a little bit of a low across Kansas, back up in through Iowa, up into southern Wisconsin, all the way to Sheboygan and on into Canada. Lots of unsettled weather across the northern plains, Rockies, through the middle Mississippi Valley, all the way to the Great Lakes. Looking at our vitality index, which is that measure of the individual weather elements, and you can see that our focus of attention is just a touch here in New Mexico, more importantly across Oklahoma, Kansas, and Nebraska, and then we have a little touch of activity going on here again across the Gulf. Looking at pressure change, we have some falling pressure across northern Oklahoma, across much of Kansas on into central Missouri, just touching the Iowa border. Looking at temperature change, while we're talking about these warm temperatures pushing back into the southwest, south and southeast will remain hot, but note that we have a rather bubble of increasing temperatures here across Kansas and in an area that we'll again be focused on. Looking at dew point temperature change, while it does not look tremendously important, as we jump over to vapor pressure, you'll see that we do have quite a lot of significance going on with vapor pressure, as we have falling vapor pressure here across the central plains, a little bit of falling vapor pressure here in New Mexico, and a host of falling pressure running from the Tennessee Valley across the easternmost portions of the Ohio Valley to the middle Atlantic states. Note that we have rising vapor pressure here about the Great Lakes. Looking at the instability or the lifted index, you'll see that we're actually settling down quite a bit with most of the activity here along the Gulf itself, but we do have a touch here in the central plains and a touch across the Tennessee Valley. Looking at the change in oxygen availability, we'll talk about some migraine stresses, a little bit here in northeastern Wyoming, and again in southeastern South Dakota, right along the border here at northern Nebraska. Note we have a more significant area of migraine stresses across eastern North Dakota, across portions of Minnesota, and then significant again across Wisconsin, across into Michigan, and all the way on to the Upper Peninsula. A more significant area of migraine stress starting in northern Mississippi, across Tennessee, across northern Alabama into northern Georgia, across portions of Kentucky, especially northeastern Kentucky, into Ohio, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, New York State, and New Jersey. We'll have asthma and arthritis stresses stretching from New Mexico across Oklahoma, very strong in Kansas, across Missouri, especially central Missouri, and touching the southernmost portions of Iowa and the westernmost portions of Illinois. Interesting little bit of asthma and arthritis stresses here across the toe of Louisiana. Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather. Your comments are appreciated. If you hurt, tell us where you're located.